Jerry, welcome. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you, Mike.
As I was just saying to you as we sit down, the feeling, whether it's fans, media, everybody, there's always a feeling of enormous stability around the Giant franchise. I'd say more so than almost any team in this town, more so than most teams. There's always that feeling. Giants kind of emanate that. They always have. This year, though, and I think it's played into some of the things that's going on with you, too, in some of these meetings with the media, is that there's this feeling that the Giants have not been able to kind of get their wheels spinning coming out of what was a very different offseason. Counteract that idea that the Giants haven't had their typical ducks in a row kind of preseason.
Well, I think that's everybody has their opinion on what we're doing, but we have a plan, and we're sticking to our plan. You know, all of our people are in our plan. Our owners are in our meetings, our head coaches in our meetings, along with our personnel staff. So we had a plan on what we would do and what we wouldn't do, and all the contingencies on different situations, and I think we're pretty close to target where we are right now. So, again, when people leave in free agency, especially players that you are endeared to, like Kevin Boss and Steve Smith, who helped you win a Super Bowl, people don't like change, you know, especially fans. Fans are fans, and but free agency is free agency. You lose people in free agency. You look around all around the league, there's people going to different teams. So that's the way it is in free agency.
I think there's the feeling, though, and I've thought this myself, that usually there's an idea, hey, we have an opinion on this player. We're not going there. We think we have to move on. But there was a feeling that maybe you did want Boss, and maybe you were surprised when he went to the Raiders, or you did want Smith, and gee, was he coming back, and did you maybe misread Smith's intentions, and there was maybe a lack of decisiveness on these particular players. Was that the case?
That's not the case at all. The case is that we know our players better than anybody. Right out the gate, when we could start free agency, we made, like I said, I've said this before, responsible offers to everybody. And, you know.
Did you make your best offer to Boss in your mind?
Did I make our best offer to Boss? We made a responsible offer, which we thought was a good offer. He got offered more money, and we're happy for him that he got offered more money. But you put everything into consideration. We know the players better than anybody. Trust me. We know, you know, that's what happens in free agency. Sometimes you can get free agents from somewhere else. You really don't know them like the team that they're coming from. So we know the guys better than anybody. We did make responsible offers. Both of them were fortunate enough to get compensated better with different teams, and we're happy for them. We really appreciate the work that they did for us, the contributions they made to the New York Giants. But you know, it's free agency. We're moving on, and we feel like we can replace those guys.
Did you take personnel hits that you did not expect to take? I guess that's the best way to put it. Did you take any personnel hits here that you didn't expect to take?
Well, again, I said this a couple of days ago. What our plan was, you know, we knew we had some situations in the offensive line. We went out and secured the best offensive center in the market from our view with David Boss. We knew we wanted to secure Bradshaw. We got Bradshaw back. We got Kiwanuka back. Those guys were priorities for us. We would have liked to got Kevin Boss back on board with
on your terms.
On our terms, yeah. Right. But still, you know, they got a better offer,
right?
And nothing wrong with that.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens. We're not mad at Steve and Kevin because they got a better offer than what we gave them.
Got you. Yeah. So what those deals became just sheer number deals. Those guys. So Boston Smith became just a numbers game with those two players.
Well, to a degree, along with other things in consideration. You have to put everything into consideration that comes along with the player. Everything. So after you put everything in consideration, you know, at the end of the day, they went to a different place.
We're talking with Jerry Reese now. I mean, you hit the ground running and had as good a first year as Ernie called it, Fred Lynn. I mean, you know, everything fell into place. Perfect. You win a Super Bowl. It was Shangri-La. There was only one way to go, and that's down off that first year. I mean, there was nowhere else to go. Last week, there was this feeling that you stepped out of character, made some guarantees. Yesterday, there was a feeling that you backtracked off these guarantees. Let me give you a chance to clarify the whole situation.
Well, to be honest, I'm really tired of talking about that, but if you want me to repeat it again,
I just want you to tell me what the real deal is.
Well, the real deal was, I talked to the media, and they asked me about last year. I said, you know, I think, you know, if last year we made the plays that we should have made, and we probably would have been in the playoffs, and I said, given my my team our team a vote of confidence that this year I believe we will make those plays. I believe we will get in the playoffs. I believe we will make a run. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, and I didn't say guarantee or promise, but you can spend it however you want to spend it. It's all right with me.
But you think you have a playoff team here this
Absolutely,
year.
I do.
Okay, that's fair. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's touch on a couple of key areas.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to make some changes injury-wise, age on the offensive line. I don't think there's any questions about that. How do you feel about the offensive line, the way it is structured right now?
Well, again, our right side is intact. Cody McKenzie's still there, and Snead, the Pro Bowl, is still there.
Two very good players, dependable, good players.
And again, right out of free agency, we knew we had to secure a center, and Boss is the best center available. We think he's a Pro Bowl caliber center.
Okay.
So he's going to take a little time to gel with these guys and with Eli, with our checks and our system. And David Boss moved into left guard.
David Deal.
What did I say?
David, you said Boss.
No, David Deal. David Deal moved into left guard, and Will Beatty's in his third year, and we drafted him in the second round. And he's our left tackle. We expect him to play well. He played well last year after he came off he had a Jones fracture, and he came off that. He played well for us, and we expect him to step up and be the second round pick that we drafted him to be. So
you have had a very tough, very cohesive offensive line. You expect the same out of this group.
Absolutely, we expect that. David Boss, he's the kind of guy we like. He's big, he's smart, he's tough, and he's versatile. He's played guard, he's played center, but we don't expect any setbacks in our offensive line. To lose Richie and O'Hara, people don't like change.
No,
but it happens.
They're good, tough guys. Yeah.
Good, tough guys.
Yeah.
And again, both of those guys were undrafted free agents and who had terrific careers, and I wouldn't bet against those guys as they may play again at some point.